What is up, everybody? We are Cinema 3D. Today we are going to be talking about DC's The Flash. All right, so earlier today we saw an incredibly anticipated movie for the first time. Been waiting, I don't even know how long for this one. It's been a minute.
It has.
In the making.
Lots of drama.
A lot of drama.
A few times.
Yeah, I mean, when was this originally slated?
When they, I don't even know.
I want to say 2021.
Probably, and back in the day, it was gonna just be a buddy cop almost.
Yeah.
Right? It was supposed to be having Cyborg in it.
Was it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I did not know about that. That's
yeah.
crazy.
Totally forgot about that. It went through, I think, at least 2 or 3 sets of directors.
Wow.
It did.
It was, I think one of them was the guys who did the Lego movie, or the Lego Batman movie.
Yeah, and then one of them, I believe, was Anton Fuqua.
Yep.
As well.
And the same people who did they do Solo?
That's Lord and Miller. Yeah.
Or they were on
the Lego movie. Lord and Miller did. So yeah.
For a minute, and they
That would've been
ended up
interesting.
leaving the project.
Mhm.
So they did that for Flash as well then?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. And so this movie had a lot of hype leading up to it. A lot of hype. I mean, there was so much with this film. Going to be the last one of the official DCEU. Bringing Michael Keaton back for the first time since 1992. Finally seeing Flash in his own live action movie.
Finally.
I mean, can't believe it took until 2023
Yeah.
to get a Flash movie. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot going into this movie. We already did give our initial reviews, but John, I'm going to turn it back over to you again.
As you should.
Share a little bit of what you thought about the Flash now that you've had a couple hours to kind of process it more.
All right. So, man, this is
Hard.
this is a tough one because rightfully so, there was a lot of anticipation for this film. You have Keaton coming back, first Flash film, of course, and this is also the last remnants, technically, of the former DC Cinematic Universe. So I had a lot of high hopes, and we all did as well. So yeah, just getting down to it, it's I have mixed feelings. It's really, really hard. I'm almost sad, honestly, because I'm not saying I won't say it's a terrible movie by any stretch of the imagination. I know that while I was watching it, I was entertained, as pretty much how a movie should do. What a movie should do. But there just wasn't a whole lot there that was really what I needed, like crowd pleasing, like yes, that we've gotten from quite a bit of these DC films.
Yes.
The overall story was good.
Yes.
As far as following the Flash and pretty much showing his mistakes, and trying to right his wrongs, wanting to bring back his mom or save his mom, and of course doing that opens up a time paradox, and everything that he kind of once knew is no longer, and so he has to rewrite those wrongs. That overall was great. Ezra Miller, we obviously know the controversy with Ezra Miller, but I think everybody can agree that he is a really, really good actor.
Yeah.
And he brought a lot of emotion, especially having to play 2 versions of himself.
Yes.
Which is that's a tough thing to do. What else? Yeah. So he brought out a lot of emotion too, and he was great. So we can't necessarily look past the controversy because what he has been doing or what he has done is definitely not okay. But I have to acknowledge that his performance was really well done.
I'll have to agree with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Might as well get into the big thing, that is the return of Michael Keaton.
Batman Returns
as Batman.
for real this time.
Exactly.
The thing that probably half the audience is going to see.
Very much
Honestly,
so.
I mean, yeah.
Very much so, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And they knew that.
Yeah. I think surface level, people are going to be, I think, pretty excited and just loving Michael Keaton coming back as Batman.
Yes.
And he does kick ass when he dons the cape and cowl. And overall, all of his fights and everything when he's on screen as Batman is great to see. But I'm not a fan of how they handled it, though.
100%.
They have him as almost with long hair, as like almost like a hipster almost, and it's just kind of like he's no longer Batman. He has been Batman for years, and Gotham apparently is now a.
They don't need him anymore.
They don't need him anymore.
Crimeless city.
Yeah, exactly. So you mean to tell me that Gotham is completely okay now?
To the point where he can say, "Okay, it's good."
Especially if they're saying that this is supposed to be Tim Burton's Batman, which now I do not. It's hard for me. It's hard, man, because I don't really. You mean to tell me that the Gotham you see from Burton's Batman films, that's okay now?
Yep.
Yeah, it's everything. Everything's okay.
It's hard to buy.
It is hard.
Very, very hard to buy. It just doesn't feel connected.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I mean, it's his introduction. I didn't think it was gonna go like that. And okay. And then when he finally agrees to be Batman, which is very quick, but
they had to do the reluctant, and then he agrees. For some reason, they had to do that. You didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
No. I
you could have followed Thomas Wayne's type of feeling.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that, because you and I were talking about this, and let me see if Justin agrees. I would have totally have done that completely different. I think that if you're gonna bring back Burton's Batman, we obviously know that he's not. Michael Keaton's Batman overall is not the perfect Batman. He did kill a lot in those films, and obviously we agree that's not Batman. But he is amazing as Batman, though.
Yes, absolutely.
But I think they should have actually addressed that. You know, what if when both Barrys are going to Batman or going to Bruce, and you see him as a even worse off, tortured soul, like he went on a crazy killing spree. Yeah. Think of Titans when that version of Batman is just on a killing spree like crazy, and maybe you reference some rogues gallery that were just literally killed by him at his hands.
Yeah, Titans, that scene with when he just kills Joker.
Yeah,
it's
something
it's crazy. Yeah, but it adds so much more to the story. So
exactly, something like that, where he and it would be a homage to the Thomas Wayne Batman that you see in the Flashpoint comic and the animated film, which this is loosely based off, but very loosely. So I would say bring in that dark Batman, but it's actually Bruce that's doing the killing and will kill. I don't know about the guns thing, but something like that, where he's just pretty much a monster. But he also knows that his world is going to be destroyed by these Kryptonians. General Zod is back, and so he has to help. But you can have him have an arc where he sees Barry and sees how much of a hero he is from and also, you know, learning that code from the Justice League, from his Justice League.
Yep, absolutely.
And maybe you have some type of arc there where Batman kind of changes and becomes more of the hero, not the straight up dark vigilante like Punisher.
Showing him that justice can also come from the light.
Exactly. Very much so. That's what I would have done. Is that cliche? Is that or something? Maybe, but I'd rather choose that over the person who was not the character who went into hiding and is no longer Batman and is always reluctant at first, but then he comes back and it's just Michael Keaton as Batman, and that's it.
I mean, he said no, and then he watched the video, and then he's like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah, he got convinced quickly, which, you know, I mean, you need, obviously, it's a fast-paced film. You need, pun intended, you have to move forward, which I get, but, like, you have all these other quirky scenes that could have been kind of taken out and with some extra meat. Because if you're bringing back Michael Keaton, you need to have something because we're never going to see him again.
Yeah.
Batgirl movie that was now we'll never see the light of day.
Yeah.
That was done. He's in it, but we're never going to see that. So this is, and that apparent Batman Beyond with Michael Keaton, if that was Batman Beyond, we're never going to see that. So this was his last outing. This is it. And you and I watched Batman 89 and then Returns the day before watching this, and
felt almost like a mistake to watch them before.
I
because
agree.
you didn't, because you ended Returns, and then I mean we even both were like, felt like a good second movie, especially with that closer, that somber close of the film.
Oh yeah.
But then it was like, okay, but now, wow,
Where's
it's
he been?
back.
Yeah, exactly. Where has he been? What's he been up to this whole time?
We don't know.
Nothing. Just
they don't need to
drinking
be
wine,
anymore.
drinking wine and making spaghetti.
Making spaghetti, and also he didn't even seem like, because apparently Barry brought him out of something.
Sure.
But like he didn't seem like he seemed kind of happy. Like Breck living in his swamp. Like
I would agree. Like if you wanted to go
flop on.
Yeah.
If you wanted to home, or maybe you go and if you're gonna do that, then reference Dark Knight Returns, where Gotham is still, gone to crap, but he needed to retire because of him getting old and everything.
Like Batman Beyond as well.
Yeah, and like Batman Beyond, but he has to put on the cape and cowl. There's a sense of urgency. I mean, there's a sense of urgency, but not much.
Not really.
Yeah, when he has to reluctantly put on the cape. So I'm like, all right.
And he was kind of like, I don't know, pretty chipper about it too. Like,
yes,
nothing really felt like, I don't know, he just kind of jokey.
Exactly.
Nothing fazed him.
Nothing really fazed him, and that's good because Batman's not supposed to be
exactly.
Which
And let me be clear, when he does don the cape and cowl, while it's not what I would have done, there are a couple of sequences when Michael Keaton is just he's on point. It's like he never left.
Yep.
And he's back to being Batman and just badass. Like he takes down people, pretty much doing what he couldn't do in 89 and even Batman Returns, because times have changed and you have better special effects and whatnot. So, and I said that loosely though, because we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I guess this is a spoiler podcast, so we might as well just get into some things. But when he actually apparently just dies, it's kind of like, oh,
well, that happened.
Yeah.
So that's it. He's gone.
All right. I mean, I will say though, and I hate to do this, but I have to do this. At least he died being Batman, and the tragedy of Bruce Wayne is still there. So like he will become and forever be Batman, at least, even though granted, he wasn't Batman for a while, but at least comes back as Batman, and he does die as Batman. And that's what Batman should be, as opposed to The Dark Knight Rises, where he's like, oh, it's a send off. He's done being Batman.
But a little, I'll take that, which feels like better writing.
I would too, because of better writing, and I see what Nolan's was going for with the Dark Knight trilogy. But yeah, so I just don't. You're gonna kill him off like that? You for real? Like,
yeah.
I mean, Keaton does do a good job selling it.
Yeah.
And there's something there when he's looking at Barry when he's dying, but
not really though. I mean, like, yes.
Yeah.
Keaton's good in that scene. But we didn't get anything. Like, we barely even felt like, I felt like Keaton was in this movie, but like barely. Like, I mean,
I would agree. Yeah.
And he didn't have to be in it like that. But if you're gonna do Keaton, then just do it. Go for it. Do it right. Give him an arc. Give him a story. That was the most cliche arc that you could give him for coming back as Batman. Thank you for bringing me back, Barry. Like, I waited too long to get that. And to get that death for a legendary first real Batman.
I would agree. Like if anything, if you're not gonna do that right, then maybe if you're still having it as Bruce, just have a different version of Ben Affleck and just have him even worse than what he was in BVS, and just straight up using guns, like, and have him be like a Thomas Wayne-esque Batman and just two guns on his on holsters and just doing it like that, and then just kind of have an arc for him or something. I don't know, something like that. You just do it like that because there's too much expectations with Keaton coming back. Like that was a big deal, and we were excited. But now it's kind of like it's great to see him as Batman, but it's like, damn.
As controversial as it sounds, because of how much I wanted this, I wish they didn't do it. I
could very much agree with you, unfortunately. Yes, he does slip into the cape and cowl very easily again, and it is great to see him, but like not what I was expecting.
Nothing against nothing against Keaton's
performance. No. I mean, no.
That was what he was given.
Oh yeah, for sure. So moving on. The action, I think the opening scene was actually probably one of the best things about the movie. I think it opened perfect. I think with Barry or the Flash helping Batman. I think all that was great. Him saving the kids and the nurse, all that was great. And then Sasha, what's her name? Sasha Cali?
Sasha Cal or something. That's her name. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, Sasha
Cali.
Yeah, Sasha Cali or her as Supergirl. I think she did a pretty good job. I don't think she was given much.
A small role.
Yeah, very small role. It wasn't given much to do. I would like to honestly see. I would have loved to have seen more of her.
I think she was great.
I think so. Like she could have done some. She could be a really good Supergirl. Don't know if we'll ever see her again. That's the unfortunate thing, because we are kind of going into a starting from scratch with James Gunn's universe, which I am very eager to see. But it's just kind of like, man, she was only given this. She probably will only be given this film, and I think she did a great job. Had a great presence. Our action sequences for what she was able to do was great. She looked great in the suit too. Let's see. I think everybody else did a good job. I mean, Michael Shannon coming back as General Zod, like he still had that presence there.
Was Zod in this movie?
Yeah. Well, yes. I mean, he wasn't. I thought it was gonna be a bigger role, but he was just there to be the villain to fight. But it wasn't. Yeah, I mean, the stuff that when he was in there, it still was Zod, but I didn't think it's just the thing, man, with this whole film. It's just kind of like, oh man, all right, you're bringing in Zod, you're bringing General Zod from Man of Steel, and he's not really in it that much.
If you're gonna do it, you just do it.
I know. I mean, Feora was in there too, and it's just like
Feora, Namek,
Feora didn't even have a speaking role, which that's interesting. Like, I don't even know. Like maybe you should have had that, because if you're gonna have the route where Superman is not here and it's Kara Zor-El that they're going after, then you gotta have why not have some dialogue with Feora? Like she just comes in and just stabs people or punches here and there, and that's it.
And
like,
then
all right,
dies.
Yeah, and then dies, which is interesting as well. It's like, damn, all right,
2 times.
Yeah,
you can't get lucky.
I know.
Yeah.
Let's see. I would say to the special effects.
Yes.
That's a difficult thing, because there were some shots, there was some stuff that looked great, but for the most part, there was some dodgy special effects, man. And I know that the director has come out and said that it's intentionally like that, because of, with the Flash and his abilities and whatnot, and this time paradox and how it's kind of making everything crazy and everything and all that. Yeah, I can't really buy that, in my opinion. I can't really buy it. I can't really buy that. I'm sorry. I can't buy it. Especially when we get the craziness of the paradox and you see all of this, all of these Easter eggs in there. And it's just kind of like, they're cool to see, but they are definitely CGI heavy and just like rubbery. And like even both Barrys when they're in the suit, like
the suit, that was one thing. The suit, it looked like he never actually had it on, which sucked. Even when he was walking towards the beginning, I was like, you can't just walk with the suit. It didn't look right. It looked cool, but it didn't look right.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's I don't know, man. I can't really buy that. The special effects weren't really the greatest in the world. Cinematography was pretty good. I think definitely the other thing that was great was the ending with Barry and his mom and having to make that choice. That was well done, and Ezra really sold that and sold that emotion that he has to rewrite his wrongs.
Yep, felt a lot in that.
That was the antithesis of the film.
Yep.
And what Bruce told him that you can't do. It's like sometimes these tragedies define us. Let that tragedy define you. And he agrees. And also because of what he did, he has to rewrite that. I think that was great. So that's the thing, is that this is such a polarizing film for me because I was entertained and the overall story, I was in there. The ending is paramount. The ending, it was good. It wrapped everything up great. But yeah, might as well get into also from what I was as far as the Easter eggs, like the biggest stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Christopher Reeves and the original Supergirl. You had Adam West cameo as Batman.
I made that joke.
Yeah, you had.
I was just like imagine if just Adam West comes back and it's fully CGI render or something.
Yeah,
I did not think it was gonna happen. But
I didn't think so either. And then one of the biggest ones is the canceled Nicolas Cage Superman from the canceled Tim Burton '97 film.
Fighting the giant spider.
Fighting the giant spider that produced. If you guys know the legend that John Peters wanted Superman to fight a giant spider, and he actually got that. Congratulations, you got that, and you also got the Wild West spider as well. So congratulations, John Peters.
That's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, it was great to see, but it I like fan service, but at the same time, it just turned into a theme park ride, and I mean, maybe that's what I don't know. Maybe that's what people think movies should be, I guess, but like not I don't know, not really.
Obviously, I mean, just no.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can't. The excitement, and I was excited during that scene. I mean, I was like, well, look at the.
Oh, sure, but it's just surface level fans.
It is.
It's not like.
And it doesn't stick with you. That's good for a one-time viewing.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, I'm not going to keep going back to that. I saw it. That was nice.
Exactly.
But I'm going to keep going back to something that can deliver and that I can like feel that much emotion with every time and get whatever. Well, I'll keep going back to it.
100%. Yeah, and then
here we got Clooney.
Well, okay, so that is interesting. I cannot believe they have George Clooney as Batman, as Bruce at the end, which was great to see, because I'm like, man, you guys really had the balls. And so did Clooney. He had the balls to come back as Batman or Bruce, and that was great to see. However, it kind of not undermines, and doesn't really destroy the overall ending, this wrapping up, but it kind of does, because we're not going to see a continuation. Probably I don't think we will. So like, what is this? Are you going to have now something was wrong, so you're going to have George Clooney as Batman, probably, which would be, I would love to see an older George Clooney as Batman, but we're not going to see that probably. So it was kind of a waste, I think. Like maybe
it was just fun.
Yeah, it was just fun, but like have Clooney like, or maybe in like the third act or something. I don't know, but like that's pretty ballsy to have Ben Affleck at the end. It's George Clooney. I'm like, okay, but what are we gonna do with that then? We're not gonna do anything with it.
And how did you feel about this being your last time seeing Ben Affleck?
Okay, so the opening. All right, so the opening with Ben Affleck as Batman, I thought was great.
Yes,
I think him working with the Flash was awesome. I think overall that was great. When Wonder Woman comes in as well, it was great to see her for a little bit. I kind of like the Lasso of Truth thing, I also kind of didn't either, because you have Batman. I mean, I know the lasso is what's making Batman kind of like a bumbling fool, but like at the same time, like what?
But they just liked. I don't. Why do they keep doing that?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. And that screams and reeks of the theatrical cut of Justice League, and it doesn't work. I don't like that.
Something's hurting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yours.
Yeah, exactly. So, but overall, Ben Affleck as Batman there was I thought was handled well.
Yes.
And then the scene between Ben Affleck and Ezra Miller as Batman and Barry, talking about what he could do with with time. I thought that was great. Ben Affleck
really was.
definitely still has it, and the emotion was there. You really felt for Bruce in there, and I thought that was great because he's still that tragic loner, and I love this. I love it when Barry's like, "I'm still hungry. You want to grab a pizza? You're my friend. Let's grab a pizza." And you see after when Barry's like saying, I could, change everything. I could save my mom. I could save your parents. That triggers something in Bruce, and it's like, no, like we said, tragedy is what defines them, and so tragedy defines both Bruce and Barry. So, and I just love that he's like, maybe some other time, and he leaves. It's like, oh man, that was I loved that.
But then he's erased from time.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
There's no freaking close to his character whatsoever. And it sucks because he got treated so poorly throughout his whole thing. I feel like the only one that he was treated right was BVS.
Kind
Absolutely.
of.
I mean,
well, as far as the best, yes, I would agree.
Yeah. Like, I mean, getting to the Snyder Cut, yeah, but like BVS was like the one and done deal where that was where he probably had the most passion, the most enjoyment, and the most fun.
It was a whole new world.
I think that pretty much everybody can agree that Ben Affleck, great Bruce and Batman with poor writing, and I can say that 100% with BVS. Well, actually, for all the films that he was in, I'm not saying that just the Snyder Cut was bad writing, but you didn't get a straight up solo Batman film that had amazing writing and whatnot, focusing on Batman. Like, you never got that.
No.
So overall, like, yes, I will agree that you didn't really get a close for him, which kind of sucks, especially if you're gonna homage Flashpoint. Like, we have to bring it up.
Yep.
That with Bruce / Batman, with his arc or the ending with Barry. I mean, seeing that letter that Thomas Wayne writes him, and he's just crying, and it's like, oh, and he thanks Barry and everything. It's like, that's awesome. Wasn't gonna definitely we weren't gonna get that here, but like maybe something else would have worked for
words of wisdom from an older Bruce.
Words of maybe we talked about that actually. That should have been something. That should have been something there. Like, if you have Keaton writing to Ben Affleck like that, and a letter would have been phenomenal, and it would have maybe had the same handwriting like Ben Affleck's Bruce too. So like, he recognizes that, but it's himself from a different universe. And that would have been great.
And you're not going to get live action Flashpoint.
No, you're not.
Ever again, or maybe for an incredibly long time.
Exactly.
So just don't drop the if you're basing something. I'll come back to it.
No,
I'll come back to it.
Yeah. I mean, but anyways, but like, so and then also that end credit scene.
Yeah.
That end credit scene that I kept hearing like great things about. I feel like there was a misinterpretation with that. I think it wasn't the end credit scene. It was the last scene of the film with George Clooney. I think that's what people were talking about. But of course, media itself, unfortunately, everything gets kind of the misinformation. So I think people got confused with that. But that should have been the end credit scene, honestly, because that end credit scene with Aquaman and the Flash, like that could have been maybe something else, or that could have been like, I don't know, you had Wonder Woman, you had Batman in the opening, maybe you have Aquaman there in that scene. I mean, it's a little goofy, but like, that's fine, I guess.
A lot of slice of life type stuff.
Exactly.
In these superheroes' lives,
Yeah, exactly. It would have worked. And Jason Momoa, he's game for the material, whatever, but not for the end credit scene of that. That was just pointless. That was a pointless
time.
Yeah.
That was such a waste of time.
I could have gone to the bathroom 10 minutes earlier.
Like, you mean to tell me that you got Jason Momoa for that scene, for an end credit scene? I mean, honestly, just for that scene in general, why? But whatever. But you do that for the end credit scene? Come on, get out of here. That's why. So, anyways, overall, like I feel like I do have to watch it again.
Yep.
I would say that I definitely had it was definitely entertaining when I was watching it. But it just left me with a mixed bag of emotions.
Yep.
Mostly disappointing, and more not disappointing, but more underwhelming.
It's good.
An underwhelming film. But I did have a decent time with it, and I think everybody will be going to watch this and will have a good time with it. And yeah, should I do my rating?
Maybe
might as well, because we're gonna kind of boom, boom, boom.
I guess we are. Yeah. Let's hear what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to do it now, or do you want to wait till me and Sam give thoughts and then we just go boom, boom, boom?
We could do the boom, 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 or we could do the boom, boom, kaboom.
I mean,
what do you think?
I'm down either way.
Well, let's. I mean, this. I mean,
only our second time.
It's only our second time, so
We'll change it up every time.
We could. Yeah, exactly. But we can wait.
All right, we'll do the.
But overall, that's my review of The Flash.
So to recap, you want the boom, 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 not the boom, boom, kaboom.
Yes.
Okay, good. I guess we'll just follow in suit from what we did earlier. I'll go ahead and say I'm going to start off saying what I liked about this movie. Opening scene. That was phenomenal, especially after just finishing watching Justice League and Justice League Unlimited for the first time. Seeing that opening just felt so much like you're watching the real Justice League.
I would agree.
It was incredible. Flash doing his stuff, saving all of them, a little bit goofier, very Wally West.
Yes,
actually. But that was nice to see. And then that was one of the most Batman looking moments ever put to screen. I mean, of him going and chasing after him. Yeah, Ben Affleck was just, besides the Lasso of Truth scene, anytime he was on screen in this movie, it was phenomenal. Definitely wish it could have got a close for him, but that didn't happen. So that scene I liked a lot. Really started off strong. I was liking it. Kept going strong for a really long time. First sign of me going, oh, what is this? Was the introduction of Keaton. Was right off the bat. I was like, I hope they want us to think this is Keaton, and it's not actually. And it's like, okay, you guys got us. I thought he was gonna be this guy.
It's Michael Goff. It's Michael Goff with chicken ass.
I'm a sandwich.
Sandwich. You said drive through.
Drive. So yeah, right off the bat, I was disappointed how they chose to introduce Keaton, and it was just nothing. It was literally nothing, and it didn't follow in suit. It was, I get it that he played Batman before and now he's playing Batman now. That was it. But beyond that, we have absolute zero connection except for a few fun things like, oh, this bag laughs. Like, don't give me the small little Easter eggs. Give me something that makes me feel like this character is connected. And don't tease somebody who grew up watching Batman 89 on repeat and wanting a third movie for his entire life. Don't tease that person by bringing this in and not giving me almost anything beyond a few cool shots.
I would agree.
No substance. I feel so passionate about this because it's just, it's aggravating. It's aggravating how you can't deliver that.
I agree.
We're doing the likes though right now. So
how do you get that?
Doing the what? Oh,
what I liked about the movie.
I forgot. I
So I messed up there. We're gonna man, I got loud there for a second. It's okay.
It's all good.
It's okay. What else did I like about this? The entire breakout scene was awesome. One of the best, that and the opening, best moments in the film.
I agree.
For sure. And then the two Barrys talking together and stuff, that was great. And I was really impressed with his acting there. Two different personalities. And then I got to give it to the ending as well. See, Barry's arc in this film was great.
Yes.
I was fine with Barry because they were doing Flashpoint.
Yeah.
So it's like, can you really go wrong with that? Like, I mean, it's a great story and you're adapting it. Not saying that they did a shot for shot remake, but definitely that was the story they chose to tell. And they did that well. The ending scene was definitely the best. I got almost a little choked up there when he was talking to his mom in the grocery store. They handled that really well. But so I guess if that's what you're trying to do, you're trying to make a Flash movie, that part of the film delivered. And enough enjoyment with all that. The problem was then you should have just done a Flash movie. Then this movie would have been a hit, would have been a home run easily. But then the problem was they decided to make this also all DC combined with no substance to it.
Yeah.
And that's where the movie fell. So it is very mixed because it's literally mixed right down the middle of there's a great movie there, and then there's just like a video game.
Yeah, lukewarm video game, yeah.
A lukewarm video game. And we just got to talk more about Keaton dying because out of nowhere. And this is Michael Keaton you're talking about, Batman 89. And you're going to do that to a legendary character? Just, you got me back out there, Barry, whatever, like, just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was blown away. I was like, they're going to bring him back again, right?
Nope.
And I'm fine with him dying, but that wasn't even, it was nothing. It was just wasn't earned. And it's like, okay, cool. So you Star Wars sequeled me.
Yeah.
Brought back a character
that's a great
from my childhood.
Great point.
Did nothing with them. And then killed them.
Yep.
Stop bringing back my childhood characters, man.
That's a lot of what a lot of 80s, 90s films that are coming back now. They do that. They always kill off one character, or just make something happen to someone that people love, just to make you feel something for the movie. So it just pisses you off.
You know what was really nice to see was in what's the third Jurassic World? What's the title?
Dominion.
Dominion. Yeah.
Dominion. In Dominion, that whole movie, I was like, oh, they're going to kill off Ian Malcolm. They're going to kill off Alan Grant. Everyone's here and they're going to die. And that was nice actually to see.
Yeah. Too many characters at the end that survived for sure, but
no one really died.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have been okay with
Dinosaur Avengers.
Yeah.
And character deaths are okay.
Yeah.
But not okay when it's stupid.
Exactly.
They have to, exactly. Yeah, they have to be earned, like you said.
Exactly.
Has to be earned. And also, who's tired of rock music in these superhero movies?
Yo. Well, that's not just rock music. I just do not. I just don't like. I don't like actual music in my films.
In climax sequence.
I just don't.
Okay, in a comedy.
It's okay in a comedy maybe, but like I'm just. It reeks of old. I don't know.
Not even old. It reeks of like 2000s.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't want hip hop. I don't want any of that stuff. Just I want the composer's music. Imagine the composer's music for that sequence you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like why we do it?
Or if you really don't want to waste the time on composing music, just freaking do sound design, man.
Or sound design.
I'd be more drawn into your moment with composition or sound design rather than a song, whether I know it or not.
It threw me off.
Blasting in your ears and you're struggling to focus, and it's just
just takes away all emotion from the scene.
We sound like old men.
We do.
I mean, it's what I said for.
That's how it is.
I think we all agree. It's what I said for Rise of the Beast with the climax. Like
right.
Whatever. I don't remember what genre that was, but it just took me out for a second, and it makes it that much harder to get back into the scene.
See, it's all because of Guardians. And Guardians was so charming with it and so stylistic with it, and it was just great. But then all of a sudden you put on Thor Ragnarok and it starts off with dun, 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 and you're like, okay, so they're doing it here now, that's fun. And then all of a sudden I'm pretty sure in Shazam we get Don't Stop Me Now, and then it just keeps going.
Kendrick Lamar. But Guardians, the thing about Guardians though is that it made sense to me with Peter's character, because he was
a man stuck in the 80s.
And that
wanted to feel at home.
Mom, So, and that's a great part too. I'm glad you said, because he's playing the music.
Yeah.
Anytime it's played in the Guardians movies, Peter playing it.
Yep.
But this is just it just feels so cheap and feels like that was the moment, because that was before Batman died. That was the moment in the film when they went off and the rock music started playing. I was like, no, it's this now. And the third act, just like, it was like they were stumbling a little bit with Keaton, but I wasn't really feeling it because I was like, oh, we still got a lot more to go. We're fine. And then when that song started playing, the movie just took a dive.
Yeah, I mean, did you see? Correct me if I'm wrong, which I'm not. But did we hear any type of that? Did we hear any of that music when General Zod was fighting Superman in Man of Steel? No,
because Man of Steel is amazing.
Yes, because it was sound design, but it was also Hans Zimmer's music. And it's like,
no, you feel into it
exactly
from the very beginning. there is no song in Man of Steel, if I can remember.
No.
Nothing.
Or BVS.
Or BVS. Which I guess is just a director's choice, but like
it is, and there's nothing wrong with doing it if you want to make it work, but like
yeah, like
difficult balance, because I know Nirvana worked, I guess, for the Batman. I still don't really agree with it because I'm just kind of like, it didn't really need to be there either, but that's director's choice, whatever.
It does slap though.
I don't know. I would prefer
it's like
just the theme.
Oh yeah, okay.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, again, it works sometimes, it doesn't, but it's getting overused now.
Yeah.
There you go.
And that's the biggest issue is like, because beforehand, when you saw it in Guardians and all of a sudden you hear Hooked on a Feeling, you're like, whoa, what's going on here? That's kind of like, that's not, because we were getting just the scores beforehand. And, you know, I hate to like, I don't want to live in the past or anything, but you got to have something deliver emotion and something deliver these epic superhero feelings, make the movies feel big again. So stop doing this and don't be afraid to hit hard with some drama and hit hard with some epic score. I mean, the scores, man, that's a lot. It's getting to be a lost art, and that's scary.
I mean, I know I'm stepping ahead of you and myself a little bit, but the score for this wasn't that impressive.
No.
Yes, we got some form of Keaton's theme back.
But I'm like, at this point, after Justice League, after they just they're doing the same thing with the Force theme. Instead of building a good story arc, they just go ba-da-ba-ba-da, and I'm supposed to go every time.
I will say that this soundtrack, or what the composer was doing, it did feel like an old school superhero sounding. But there wasn't that memorable themes besides the one.
I think you said it better than I did, because I think the score is good for what it is.
It's serviceable.
Like, he did a good job, but for what we wanted, it's not what we would have wanted. And the one track I will say that I really enjoy is when Barry is the first time he's about to run back in time. That one I love. I love the piano. I love the escalation. I think that's great, and I love that for the Flash's theme.
I agree,
but I don't know if it's better than the show theme that we got. I think the show theme is amazing. And past Flash stuff, it's just, I mean, you guys know what I'm saying. Like, it's not what we would have wanted, but still serviceable. But it's a testament to the fact that scores are kind of getting shunned. There's only a few movies nowadays that actually focus on it. And I think it's sad, because I'll always say this, music is such an important part in movies that if you just forget about it, I can't watch a movie 24/7, right? But I can listen to music wherever I'm at. And if your music is good in your movie, I'm going to be thinking about your movie day in and day out. If your music sucks, the only time I'm thinking about is when I'm watching it, if I even do. So,
no, I mean, how many times do you all of a sudden you hear like ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, and you're like, I got to watch Pirates again, man.
Yeah. Every time it plays, I want to watch it again.
I agree.
Excuse me. Pardon. So
you're excused.
It's that movie theater popcorn, man.
Oh yeah.
It just stays in there.
Nice, very nice.
So, and then we get to the ending, and he doesn't come back. He dies. Lame. And then we wrapped it up nice. So I guess that's all in all. My feelings towards this film was half a really good Flash movie and half a giant waste of potential and a giant waste of time. And if you just, I mean, I don't even know how else to explain it. Like, just talk to a fan and be like, what should we do? And then do it. Like, watch the DCAU, come back to me, make that happen, because it's just ridiculous that we have these incredible stories and you can't just, I don't care if you think it's going to be cliche or not. If you can't hit on those important character moments, then don't bother bringing the character in.
I agree. Yeah, completely.
That's where I leave off with this movie. I'm right down the middle. So now, Justin, I feel like we know me and John are a little bit more vocal walking out of this movie. Yours is the biggest mystery right now.
I don't know why. I mean, I've been a lot more quiet this one than the last one, which I guess kind of tells you how I feel. I'm just kind of sad. Not that it was the worst thing ever.
No.
I was holding my expectations to a certain level, but they still didn't reach that level, which makes me just sad because I love the Flash character so much. I mean, I've watched Justice League Unlimited. I've seen the Flash TV show, almost the whole thing. Flashpoint Paradox is one of the best animated movies ever.
Absolutely. Watched it in the middle of the night last night, getting ready for this.
Yeah, I need to watch it again. It's that good.
It really is.
And I remember when we first saw the trailers, we were kind of excited that it wasn't going to be a rehash because, you know, rehashes are just kind of like, why? But at the same time, I'm like, they kind of did so many things that I didn't expect and also didn't really vibe with, that I'm like, either just, like you said, don't do it, or just give me the exact thing I want, which is just a live action Flashpoint. But if you did that, it's just copy paste. So either way, you're kind of screwed. But one way I would have maybe had a little bit more joy. But yeah, I were you gonna say something?
I was just gonna hop on that, what you're saying with the Flashpoint thing.
Yeah.
Because that one scene, I didn't give it credit. And that one, when he gets his powers back, after just watching Flashpoint, that was exciting. And he, you know, Michael Keaton's over there pulling the, that was great.
I felt a lot of emotion in that scene.
Yep.
Which I liked because it reminded me of the Flashpoint Paradox. But yeah, you guys have said a lot of points that I really agree with. I don't think I've really disagreed with anything you guys have said.
All right, so here's one thing that I want to ask you then. You didn't obviously grow up with the Keaton Batman films.
Lay it on me.
But you have watched them. You have acknowledged that. I hope you acknowledge that they are. It's definitely that you know Keaton is goated as Batman. But coming at it from a different perspective, hopefully, what did you think about Keaton coming back as Batman for this, though? Because we have a lot of emotion with it.
Like, you're talking about the idea of him coming back or the execution of it?
Both. I want to hear both.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
if you agree with us, sure, but I want to get your opinion from somebody who didn't grow up with Keaton's Batman.
Yeah, I was definitely more interested than excited with what they would do, because my first thought would be to do Thomas Wayne.
Sure.
So once it wasn't that, I've grown to love Keaton, even though I didn't grow up with him. You guys bashed me with 89 to the point where I love that movie. But also Returns is great. They're both great, and it sucks that he didn't get the ending to a trilogy. So with that, I thought this could have been his like soft third close movie, you know?
His swan song?
Swan song? I don't know that reference.
Kind of.
No, it's just kind of like
triumphant return.
Exactly.
Oh,
but like a pure ending.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, the way the second trailer portrayed it kind of felt like that.
Yep.
Regardless of the nostalgia bait with the lines, they didn't show us enough in the trailer to make it feel like he was just coming back for fan service sake. I thought there was going to be a lot of stuff with him that was going to be new and refreshing, and also not kind of mess with the vibe of what 89 Returns set up.
Yep.
But kind of wish he wasn't in this.
I'm there with you.
It was great to see him again.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of little things that felt, I guess, cliche or on the nose. I think that's the way I'd put it, on the nose. Which didn't have to be. Like, you could have said the same stuff, but just done it a little bit differently, and he could have said the whole "want to get nuts" in a different scenario. And I think I think that could have worked if you just set it up better. Like, I know you're probably not going to agree with me.
Honestly, I have to disagree. I got worried about that in the trailer, but then I heard reviews saying that some of those lines actually work, and that's out of context.
They did not.
They did not work.
No.
You agree they did not work?
They did not work.
I agree.
At first, I'm like, "What is this?" But then some reviews were like, "Oh no, it's okay."
No,
it didn't
all of a
work.
sudden just
There was just
want to
a
get
pause, and then he says it.
Were we watching the same movie? Because
Where was the sitcom? Woo! In between that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
A sitcom would have made sense.
Yeah. You want to get nuts?
No, because there's no need for it.
I'd say that was the worst one out of all of them.
They did so many. Then they did. Can you pass the salt?
That was stupid.
I didn't even get
It is
that one
such-
because you guys had just watched it before.
Such
Yeah,
a
we did.
obscure line from '89 with Vicky Vale and Batman and Bruce
Because
having dinner.
That's the salt because he did it in '89.
Yeah, so there was those two. Then there was
was another one.
I'm Batman. There was, which I mean, if you're gonna do one, obviously do I'm Batman.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Iconic.
the other one,
No, there was a.
it was when,
Weigh.
huh?
How much do you weigh?
How
Yeah,
much you weigh?
that one.
Yep.
I don't agree with that either.
Which I mean,
Put them
regardless,
together.
when he was pulling out the thing, I'm not gonna lie, I chuckled, but it wasn't because of the joke he said. It was just a different thing I thought in my mind.
Oh yeah.
But like, then when they turned it into the fans or the callback, I was like, oh. But I agree with you that it was not needed and it was kind of awkward.
Yep.
But I feel like there were so many different ways they could have done the same thing better
Sure.
or just set it up better. It just felt like they didn't want to spend the time to figure out how to make it cohesive.
That you are 100% right. They just didn't want to spend the time to to put in the work to make Keaton's return earned.
Yeah.
But that's what you and I think. Do you agree with that as well, or were you okay with how or were you fine with how he was handled? Did you agree with the way his send off was? Were you fine
No,
with that?
did not like the way he died.
Okay.
I like the point you brought up with Batman dying as Batman, but that didn't feel earned. It felt way too awkward. It was just like, I was the same thing as you. I was like, okay, they're gonna bring him back again. He's gonna run back for 20 more times, and like maybe he'll stay alive. Like, but he didn't, and it just felt so weird because he just finishes up great, like, you know, going around Namek and like throwing bombs on his face, and all of a sudden he's just like seems to be dead, and he's just like, all right, I did it, and then
Reminds me so much of Luke's death in Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Kicks ass and then dies.
yeah.
I will say though that like he, at least with this one, he actually kicked ass,
He did.
and it wasn't something else. Which
was
well,
like,
this is not a Last Jedi review. I don't mind that how they handled that with Luke, but at the same time, at least Batman actually did something.
Oh,
That
he
was nice.
did, and that's one thing I will say. The fight sequences with him were really cool to see.
Yeah,
So
I would.
confident
I would.
about
Yeah, very
That-
confident. I do agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that felt cool. It was exciting. It was brutal too. Like some of the dudes he straight up beat up.
I know.
Like,
And see, that's a sequence when both Barrys and Batman are going to rescue Supergirl,
Yeah.
Mara. That sequence right there will definitely be one that I watch on repeat.
100%.
that, like you
Mason
said,
Keaton.
I think on the way back, it felt like the BVS warehouse sequence mixed with 89's alleyway.
No, it really did. I mean, just the way. Granted, was it all CG?
It was definitely CG. It was
stunt person
and it was
thing,
it was mainly stunt. It was
Which is fine.
Keaton was only a couple and some close-ups, but still, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, that was a takeaway from the film for sure. That scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so I, at the end of the day, if this is what we got from Keaton, I wish they would have just had Affleck in it and given me a close to his story. Am I glad that I saw Keaton again? Yes. But I'm not happy with the way it ended
I'm just.
for either of them.
Yeah.
At least, I mean, regardless if Keaton's death sucked, at least we got to see a close for him.
Right.
Now I'm never going to see Affleck again. And you leave me off, which that scene is great with him talking to Barry. But then, and I knew there was something fishy, man, when they didn't show him pulling up in the car. And the voice sounded different on the phone. I was like, what's happening here? We're back to normal. Why weren't they showing Affleck like Bruce Wayne? And then all of a sudden it's Clooney shows up. It just felt, like you said, a waste of a scene, and it makes no sense to me. And it's just like, it's, I don't know, just one of those things that kind of rubs me the wrong way and makes me sad.
I agree with. No, I get that. I mean, say what you will about the, him not dying pretty much officially at the end of Dark Knight Rises, but Bale's our only Batman who had at least a close that makes you go, that was good.
Yeah.
yeah. As far as live action, yeah.
As far as live
Because
action.
Kevin Conroy's Batman, rest in peace. definitely had a great arc, and that was a more earned arc because you have all this material, animated series to Superman, animated series to Justice League, New Adventures, Batman Beyond, whatnot. But
I haven't watched Epilogue yet.
Right. Yeah. But I would agree though that Bale's Batman had the best arc for live action.
Yeah, I mean, you can just take, as of right now, in live action terms, the other two best Batmen being Keaton and Affleck, and you can just shit on their clothes in one movie. That's impressive.
That is
takes a special kind of skill to take two live action Batmans and shit on their endings in one film.
It sucks because I did not want to feel this way after this. And it's the two Batmans. It's not even the Flash. Like I thought the Flash.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah,
I thought the Flash was pretty good in this movie.
No, Flash was
like
good.
if they just focused on him, and it sucks because it's. I don't know. Maybe I'm repeating myself from every freaking review, but there's so many good things you can do with these characters, and this time it's the Flash. He's got a great rogues gallery. And you don't put any of them in this movie. You don't even put his greatest nemesis in this movie. You focus too much on the other parts of his world that he gets drawn out, but then the other parts aren't even that interesting.
I'm glad you said that because that goes right into, I guess, I guess you can call it the main villain, but in a way, the main villain is technically Barry because he's after himself. But like Dark Flash,
Dude, there is no villain in this movie.
Not really. No.
Barry is his own villain, which is what we predicted.
Yeah.
But there's no villain. Zod was not there as Zod himself. He was just a...
Yeah, how did you feel about that, being a huge Man of Steel fan?
I think it was... I don't know. It was just... not even cool to see him back. I don't know. I was excited, but it was not there. He said maybe a few things, and it didn't feel like he was even in it. It felt like he was just getting a paycheck, which, I mean, it's Michael Shannon. He does great. I mean, I don't think he can do wrong as Zod, but it feels different. I'm used to seeing him in Man of Steel and the amazingness that is. And it's like, if you're going to do it, you got to hold up to par, and it didn't feel that way. A la with Namek and Feora. What was the original? Oh yeah, the villain. I think it was Too Little Too Late. We saw him for a glimpse in the beginning, and I was like, oh shoot, this dude scared the crap out of me. But we kind of talked about it all, while we're working. We were just like, oh, it's probably gonna be like the second Barry. Like maybe he turns into this, and we've already seen it quite a few times with the show. I know you haven't, but like... Yes,
but why is it that... I mean, granted, it's a show, so you have a little bit more time for development, but why in the world was Savitar
so much better?
Much better than Dark Flash?
I think it's because we hadn't seen something like that in a long time, or like... That was just the first mainstream thing that did that.
Yeah.
And like... But yeah, it's literally... It's Savitar. Almost looks the same. They just had to rebrand as Dark Flash, so people didn't think it was cop-out.
It just looks the official name for that character is Dark Flash?
Yeah.
It just looks like... I don't want to shit on the production design, but it just looks like dried up shit that's like melted onto the person.
Which, onto the character. I mean...
I don't know.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm nitpicking, but whatever.
You what?
At this point, I'm nitpicking, but whatever.
Right.
Yeah, we are, but it's also because kind of had a little bit too high hopes, I guess.
But I think it was, though. I didn't. Like,
yeah. Well, we all tried to tame, especially
we did.
Me and him.
Very
but
much
I think
so, I would agree.
It's impossible not to compare stuff to when you already have something like this. If this was a brand new concept, then no. But like this is the Flash.
Yeah.
This is the Flash, the first live action version of the Flash movie that we've ever gotten.
And that's the thing, though. I mean, the Flash movie in this movie was good.
Yeah.
It was the movie. It was everything else it did.
Yeah. No Reverse Flash, which we kind of thought was going to happen because they're too scared to do it. But I wish they would have just done it. Have the Flash, have Reverse Flash. You don't necessarily have to do a Flashpoint storyline, but you can have them two in it. And you can have, I don't know, freaking throw Grodd in there, throw Boomerang, throw his classic, like, what's his name? The one that deals with mirrors. I can't even remember his name.
Mirror Master?
It might be Mirror Master, but like stuff like that. Just give me something that feels like the character that I know and love.
Might have to just check out the show or check out the animated stuff.
I know, which I need to finish the show, especially after this. Yeah. I'm definitely going to rewatch Flashpoint because I love that movie so much.
Need a fill.
Yeah, I need that refill.
The other thing that's kind of weird. So we said, like, you know, they're not going to do Flashpoint, but this literally was Flashpoint.
Yeah,
it was a Flashpoint.
It wasn't the Flashpoint.
Yeah,
but it was Flashpoint.
Because like, you can't have Flashpoint without Reverse Flash. That's the thing. You can have a Flashpoint. This was like a multiversal Flashpoint, in my opinion. It wasn't. It wasn't the story that I know, which I knew going into it, but I didn't think it was going to be this different.
And you know, this is a rarity, I think, maybe for us at least. Other people have felt this before, and they get very passionate about these things when they take a comic book adaptation. And then, see, the reason I say that is if we're doing a straight adaptation, none of us were really like that familiar with, like, say, the Civil War comic before it came out.
Yeah. All
these things that people get very passionate about, we have that. We were divided from that because we didn't grow up those things. We knew the movie. So watching those, we didn't mind it.
Yeah.
But now this is an instance where we have a history with Flashpoint Paradox, and now you're seeing it brought to life.
Yeah. That's probably a huge detriment to our opinions.
But I would have to slightly disagree just because, like, I knew that, I mean, it was going to have Flashpoint elements, but I knew it was going to be a straight adaptation. So I knew that it was going to be different enough.
Yeah.
So I walked in knowing that, but I just think the execution just wasn't there.
Right.
As well as I thought it would have been. So that's why now I feel like I have to watch Flashpoint to get to fill that void, because that is better. But yeah, no, it's just very underwhelming. It was a great time in the theater.
Yes.
You were entertained. I mean, I guess that's the most important thing, maybe. I don't know. But I don't know. I just I like a little bit more.
Entertained, but doesn't stick, basically.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think, oh man. While it was great to see Ezra perform as both of them, did get really annoying after a while.
Yeah. I could see my dad, because he doesn't like Ezra's Flash. I mean, he doesn't like that type of character anyways, with the whole almost kind like
jittery.
Yeah. Also very, like that. So, and he's voiced his opinion on that. I think it's because after watching both versions of Justice League and how Ezra portrays him, very Wally West, but even Wally West from the animated show, like, you love him. I could see him not liking, I mean, because you get double. And I know that the older Flash has a little more experience and a little more serious, but he still is quirky.
Right.
So, like, you get double. A younger one. Yeah. I could see my dad not liking this.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And that's the character. That's the main character. So he would. I guarantee you, he'll probably just, be there for Keaton.
It is actually crazy to think. The only thing I've seen, well, I guess all these movies I've seen Barry Allen, but to me, it does match the character of Wally West in the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited show. But according to you guys, that's not how Barry Allen is, and that's not how he is in Flashpoint Paradox either.
No.
Exactly. I mean, he has some funny stuff here and there, but yeah, it's a very interesting take on. I wonder why. I just don't understand why Snyder and company wanted Barry Allen and make him like that, because he acts more like Wally West.
Yeah, I know.
Can't deny that. It's just in my opinion, that's how it is.
If we're doing that, though, I guess I prefer the Wally West Flash over Barry Allen.
But if you do that, then it's not you wouldn't do a Flashpoint adaptation unless if you want
true.
to, fine, but you're
An
gonna
origin.
piss off a lot of fans
Off
because
a lot of people.
yeah. Oh yeah. Wouldn't dare
They
touch that.
they took, I guarantee you, they took Barry because the show was popular, and they did the Spider-Man-esque character because that was popular. That's
Yeah,
100%.
there you go.
All right, definitely too. I think that Spider-Man: Far From Home, because that's the closest one you can compare it to, and maybe Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness, but more,
You mean
but
No Way
more,
Home?
but more Far From Home.
Yeah, it definitely feels more like Far From Home
Yeah.
than Multiverse.
No Way Home?
Is it No Way Home? No,
No Way Home.
Yeah, No Way Home.
It's No Way Home.
No Way Home. Far From Home's the
It's
Far
one,
From Home's the second one.
it's
No
one
Way
of
Home's
the it's one of the homes. I have problems with the
Homecoming.
blank home anyways. Like, why? But No Way Home.
No Way
I wanna
Home.
make sure.
Yep, that's
Okay.
the official.
I think Spider-Man: No Way Home did this better.
Yes.
It had more. Both films have heart, and I think the one film had more heart and also more respect.
Yes.
And I think did a great job with pretty much wrapping up, especially all these older characters
There you
and all
go.
these characters you've seen. All these characters you've seen.
And
They
you
wrap up.
So
you also still get to focus on the main character, which is Tom Holland's
Yeah, you
Spider-Man.
they did it so well in that
Where
movie.
Almost
That-
you
too
still
well.
get focus on Barry in this film, but it's shrouded by everything else that's happening, I feel like.
yes. But so much respect for Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield that
but
we
yeah,
didn't feel
100%.
for Keaton.
Exactly, and not what about the villains too? Like they had way more villains. They had way more villains in No Way Home, but they all had perfect screen time and great delivery and handled well. And but then you get to Flash, and the villains from Man of Steel,
Yeah.
they're just there.
Yeah, I mean,
Show
like
up, barely
they
saying anything.
make Defoe's Goblin the main villain of that movie,
I know.
and he's intimidating.
Freaking
He does
damage.
damage. He
Oh my.
kills Aunt May.
Yeah. No,
We
yeah.
had a lot of heart that this movie didn't hit, and
I hate to say that. I mean, I don't want to go from the Marvel versus DC, but I hate to say that, but I have to at least admit that
Okay. All in all, for the majority of, even with all of Marvel's duds right now, the majority of the comparisons, if we're doing, Justice League to Avengers, not Zack Snyder's, but theatrical, Justice League to Avengers, it's obviously Avengers. It's like it's sad because it's an obvious win for Marvel each time they have a similar film, and it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. I know we could probably debate Civil War and BVS,
Yeah.
a few of us, I don't know,
there is a debate, but honestly, like objectively, Civil War.
is a better film.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave now.
You can't deny objectively, yes.
Yeah.
Objectively.
Absolutely.
But
I don't know if we want to get into that.
no, yeah.
Another video though.
That's another video.
I feel like you would actually have to almost moderate that one because you can kind of like
Teeter
defend
both
both
sides.
films.
Too much powerful.
Too much power for one man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess we pretty much hit all the marks of what we thought about this film, but I will say
Trying to think of anything else if I forgot anything, but
I think we pretty much hit everything.
we did. I think next comes our rankings. We'll go boom, 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 but I don't.
this is even tougher than it was when we got out the theater. Because
I think
It is a lot harder to do.
upon us talking about it and me thinking about it, I have come to a I think I know what to do.
conclusion.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so I'll go first.
Yeah.
So overall, just to recap, I just think that it's I was entertained watching it, but overall I think it was underwhelming, and it just won't be something I really watch anytime soon again, possibly. And I'll just watch that Keaton scene.
Yep.
But yeah, just walked out kind of sad and just kind of like hollow. So I would say not a fan.
It's a shame that we didn't do a ranking system on our Guardians video.
Oh man.
And when I did the Spider-Man talk, just because kicking off the summer, super excited. I'm pumped. We had 2 in my collections in a row, just for what it's worth, though. That's what those 2 get.
Nice.
Second highest tier. But then last one we did, Transformers, it got not a fan. And this is tough because half of this movie is good flick with the
agree.
Flash
I
part.
would agree. I can agree with that.
but the other part is not a fan. So the question is, what outweighs? I want to.
Is it going to stand the test of time?
Justice is blind, Sam.
I want to give it good flick because of Flash's character arcs and how much emotion I felt with that, and I want to applaud them for what they did there. But then, because of the sheer handling of Keaton and killing him off the way they did, I think, although it wasn't a Michael Keaton Batman movie, but you brought him back and you teased me with that. So for that, for that very reason, I have to hit it with a hard, not a fan. I'd like it to be good flick, and there's elements there that I can still enjoy. But I think not a fan. It could change. I don't know. I could maybe bump it up to good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm still a little butthurt about Keaton. So talk to me on the second
Side.
Yeah, talk to me on the flip side about it, and we might have a different perspective.
Man, this is a lot of pressure.
Well,
It is a very difficult one.
The man who's wearing a Flash shirt, the man who loved and dies and breathes Flash.
This movie is polarizing.
Yeah, I would agree.
This sucks, man.
Yeah, no, it does. It does.
Yeah.
I feel bad about giving it that ranking, but it's the only thing I could do.
Okay, so
By our imaginary ranking system, it's the only thing I could do.
the greatest ranking system ever created.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed the character of the Flash in this movie. I thought Keaton, I don't know why I put so much emphasis on the T.
I don't know.
I think Keaton, there we go.
Hmm.
I think Keaton wasn't needed, but it was good to see him back. I think Supergirl was great. I really enjoyed her.
From what you saw. Yeah.
Yes. I really wish we could see more. Whether that's going to happen or not, who knows? But I think she did a great job. The villains were very, very lackluster. And the fact that you didn't give me a closing to Affleck. Yeah, it's not a fan.
3 not a fans in a row. That's a unanimous ranking from Cinema 3D.
Yeah.
And this is just us finding this out
That's us
too.
figuring it out.
Exactly.
When I got out the theater, I wanted to give it a good flick.
I did too, and I actually was going to up
Yes.
until we started doing the podcast.
But the more we talk about it, the more I think about it, the more I'm sad.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's why I think we all came to a unanimous decision.
we did.
That means we're never not going to watch it again.
No, yeah.
But
Not never again.
There's a lot more movies we'll watch before this one.
I can agree with
Absolutely.
that.
Like 89.
Flashpoint. 89.
Or Flashpoint, yeah.
Yeah.
89, Flashpoint Returns.
The 3 movies I watched last night
Yeah.
into this morning, I will watch again over it.
But obviously it's for you guys to decide. Like I said, I feel like most people are gonna really enjoy it. And this is just us being, diehard fans.
Diehard fans with a lot of feeling.
And we really wanted this to knock us. We're going into this. We want it to be like stunned. And like, yes.
I was
And we were, and the trailers really showed like, oh my goodness, man, are we really gonna is this gonna be amazing?
Yep.
And we watched it, and not really.
Yeah.
I really wanted this. I expected it to end up at Good Flick for me,
I did too.
but I wanted it to be in my collection.
I wanted it to be in my collection.
I thought it was gonna be in my collection.
And you know what? It probably actually will end up in my
It
collection.
will
Same,
for me to just fast forward.
That's just OCD
for
me.
Yeah.
Some shots. Oh, that's OCD for you guys. For me, it's more like, well, then again, I could always just do VOD.
Could. But yeah, no, I'll buy it, but that doesn't mean it gets the ranking of it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because there's some in my collections that I probably won't buy. Just because they're way too expensive. But
Yes, exactly.
at the end of the day, not a fan for all of us.
Not a fan for all of us. So yes, again, let us know what you guys think. If you love this movie, that's great. If you feel like we feel about it, that's even better. But that's all we have to say about The Flash for now. We will see you guys next time with some more nerd content. Later.